Harry Kane, the tireless scorer, but without crowns. After so many finals and disappointments, has destiny finally changed?
And here is Harry Kane for Tottenham. Oh, what a goal! A classic derby goal from Harry Kane!
Kane, onto his left foot, speculative and quite brilliant.
One of the deadliest strikers of his generation, built his career with hard work, tactical intelligence, and an impressive nose for goals. Born in London, Kane had a curious journey through the youth categories. He started at Arsenal, a rival club, but was released for being considered too small and lacking the physique for high-level football. At Spurs, Kane lived memorable moments. From his first Premier League goal in 2014 to becoming the club's all-time top scorer, he was the face of the team for almost a decade. Although he never won a title with Tottenham, his loyalty and iconic performances made him a legend among the fans. His seasons were filled with decisive goals, accurate assists, and a football IQ that set him apart from other strikers. Kane also shone for the England national team, but the storyline was similar. Reaching finals, making history, but the trophy slipped away. He led England in the 2018 World Cup, finishing as the tournament's top scorer, and took the team to the final of Euro 2020, but saw Italy claim the title in a penalty shootout. Even without lifting trophies, Kane solidified his place among the greatest players in England's history. Beyond goals and assists, his tactical intelligence was always a standout feature. Unlike many traditional number 9s, Kane knew how to evolve his game over the years, becoming a complete striker. Not only does he finish with mastery, but he also creates plays, drops deep to collect the ball, and distributes passes like a top-level midfielder. His understanding of the game has always been one of the most refined in the Premier League. Another notable aspect of his career was the silent rivalry with Jamie Vardy. While Kane shone for years at Tottenham, Vardy lived a fairy tale at Leicester, winning the Premier League in 2015-16. Leicester's title was a blow to Kane, who saw a historically smaller club lift the trophy he so desperately wanted. The two always competed for the league's top scorer, and while Kane had the edge individually, Vardy achieved what the Spurs number 10 never had, a Premier League trophy. Since he was young, Kane had to overcome challenges. He was rejected, doubted, and had to build his own story without the shortcuts that some prospects receive. At Tottenham, he became an idol. For the England national team, a leader. His talent was never in question, but the absence of titles was always the argument against him. Even so, Harry Kane kept breaking records, proving that his name will forever be among the greats of English football. Harry Kane's finals, great moments, but no trophies despite being one of the greatest strikers of his generation. Harry Kane lived through a cruel storyline in his career, reaching important finals both with Tottenham and the England national team, but never being able to lift a trophy. Opportunities came, moments of brilliance occurred, but destiny always seemed to deny him the ultimate glory. Champions League Final 2018-19. Tottenham versus Liverpool. Tottenham shocked the world by reaching the Champions League final for the first time in its history. Kane, who was recovering from a serious ankle injury, rushed his recovery to be on the pitch against Liverpool. However, his presence was discreet. With less match rhythm, he struggled to make an impact against a dominant Liverpool team. Salah's early penalty complicated things for Tottenham, and they couldn't react, eventually losing 2-0. It was Spurs' biggest chance ever to win the top club title, but the dream crumbled. English League Cup Final 2020-21. Tottenham versus Manchester City, another title opportunity with Spurs, but the situation was challenging. Manchester City, under Guardiola, was dominating English football. Tottenham held their ground for a long time, but Aymeric Laporte's goal in the 82nd minute sealed the game. Kane was once again on the pitch, but City's superiority was too much, leaving Tottenham once again at the brink.
De Bruyne in. Oh, and there's the goal. Laporte with a header into the final 10 minutes. Manchester City score the first goal of the final. It comes relatively late.
Euro 2020 final. England versus Italy. If there was ever a moment where Kane could change his history and that of England, it was this final. Playing at Wembley, England took the lead early with Luke Shaw's lightning-fast goal. Kane had an intelligent performance, dropping deep to collect the ball and helping build plays. However, Italy grew into the game, equalized with Bonucci, and the match went to penalties. Kane converted his kick, but Rashford, Sancho, and Saka missed, giving Italy the title. It was a heavy blow to England, who hadn't won a title since 1966. Euro 2024 criticized for Southgate's choices. England reached the final for the second consecutive time in the Euro, but without success. The English managed to tie with Palmer, but lost to a Spanish team that definitely deserved to win the tournament. Harry Kane went silent that day, being substituted at the end for Watkins. No trophies, but respect. Kane's finals were marked by solid performances, but there was always that final detail missing for him to lift a trophy. He played important roles, helped his teams get far, but always faced superior teams or key moments that decided the games against him. Even without titles, Kane has always stood out as a leader and one of the most consistent players in world football. In the summer of 2021, Harry Kane came very close to making one of the most impactful transfers in Premier League history. Manchester City, in search of a top-level striker to replace Sergio Aguero, made Kane their priority. Pep Guardiola wanted a number 9 who could adapt to his style of play, and Kane, with his tactical intelligence, lethal finishing, and ability to drop deep and create plays, seemed like the perfect piece for his system. Manchester City was willing to pay an astronomical amount for Kane. The figures ranged from £120 to £150 million, potentially making him one of the most expensive signings in Premier League history. Kane, already frustrated with the lack of trophies at Tottenham, saw the move as the perfect opportunity to win trophies under Guardiola's guidance. However, there was a major obstacle: Daniel Levy, Tottenham's chairman. Known for being a tough negotiator, Levy refused to sell his star player to a Premier League rival. Despite Kane's pressure and City's eagerness to close the deal, Levy held firm and set the price at £160 million. The idea of Kane playing for City remains one of the biggest what-ifs in recent English football history. Guardiola valued strikers who participated in the build-up play, and Kane was one of the few center forwards in the world capable of combining lethal finishing with vision and playmaking. With players like De Bruyne, Foden, and Bernardo Silva around him, he would have received a level of service he never had at Tottenham. Haaland's arrival the following year demonstrated the impact a true number 9 could have at City, and many wonder if Kane would have had a similar, or even greater, impact in Guardiola's system. But the meeting never happened, and Kane stayed another season at Tottenham before finally seeking new challenges. Bayern Munich. Kane's move to Bayern, saying goodbye to Tottenham, and a frustrating start in Germany after years of dedication and respect to Tottenham. Harry Kane finally made the decision to leave the club that nurtured him. The lack of titles weighed heavily on him, and at 30 years old, he knew he needed to seek new challenges to fulfill his ambition of winning trophies. Tottenham, in turn, also realized it was time to sell their greatest idol, as his contract was nearing its end, and there was a risk of losing him for free in the future. Bayern Munich entered the race strongly, eager to make Kane the new leader of their attack after Lewandowski's departure. After long negotiations, the Bavarians completed the signing for around €100 million, making Kane the biggest signing in the history of the German club. Kane's debut for Bayern could have been symbolic. He played in a final, the German Super Cup against RB Leipzig. In his first opportunity to lift a trophy, it was expected that the English star would make a difference. However, Bayern suffered a humiliating 3-0 defeat, with Dani Olmo from Leipzig being the standout player. It was a sign that his journey in Germany would not be as easy as it seemed. The Bundesliga lost after historic dominance. Even with a brilliant individual performance, Kane couldn't prevent a historic failure for Bayern. The club, which had dominated the Bundesliga for 11 consecutive seasons, lost the title to Bayer Leverkusen. Xabi Alonso's team had an impeccable campaign, finishing undefeated and securing the club's first-ever German title. This achievement was so significant that Leverkusen, once nicknamed Neverkusen, finally became national champions, breaking a decades-long taboo. For Kane, it was yet another season without trophies. He left Tottenham to win titles, but ironically became part of the first season in over a decade where Bayern didn't win the Bundesliga. Another painful chapter in his career, which despite being filled with records and impressive numbers, still awaits a major collective achievement. Bayern Munich's last season was marked by an emotional roller coaster. Under Thomas Tuchel's management, the team had a strong run in the Champions League, coming very close to reaching the final. However, the miracle at the Bernabeu happened once again. Bayern was leading Real Madrid 1-0 until the 85th minute, securing a spot in the final against Borussia Dortmund. The German team controlled the game well, but as has happened so many times in history, 90 minutes at the Bernabeu can be too long. In a matter of minutes, Real Madrid turned the game around to 2-1, with goals from Joselu, and destroyed Bayern's dream of a possible Der Klassiker in the Champions League final. The elimination was a tough blow, and the season ended without titles for Bayern, something unacceptable for a club used to dominating German football. As a result, Tuchel left his position as head coach. A new era under Kompany, a more solid Bayern, and Kane becoming even brighter for the new season. Bayern opted for Vincent Kompany, a young coach with modern ideas. Despite initial doubts, Bayern quickly proved to be a more organized, solid, and competitive team. Harry Kane, increasingly adapted to German football, has been the standout player for the team. His numbers are impressive, and his presence in attack has become even more decisive. With a more tactically balanced Bayern, the Englishman finally has the structure he needs to pursue the trophies he so desires. The new cycle at Bayern could represent Kane's big chance for redemption, as he continues breaking individual records and, this time, hopes to crown his career with collective trophies. Unlike last season, when he watched the title slip away in historic fashion, Bayern Munich is now showing signs that they won't slip up in the Bundesliga. With a good lead over Leverkusen, Kompany's team shows solidity, intensity, and an absolutely unstoppable Kane. The English forward is scoring goals, breaking records, and showing why he is one of the most complete players in recent football history. Besides being a lethal finisher, Kane is extremely intelligent in the collective game, participating in plays, creating space, and distributing assists like few center forwards can. Without a doubt, he is the best number 9 currently, and, in my opinion, the best striker I've ever seen play. With Kane leading the attack, Bayern has everything it needs to continue its journey toward the European title. Will this be the time he finally wins the long-awaited trophy?